Hey guys, Manga Comics here with a contest entry for Michael Ganter. Hopefully, I pronounced that last name correctly. For his 100 subs contest. He's actually at 130 right now, so major congrats to you, Michael. So he's doing a 100 subs contest, and that's really cool of him. The first hundred's really the toughest to get past, but once you do, the subs just keep on coming. So here's to many more, and let's get to these questions. So he's got 7 questions here, and the first one is: have you ever influenced a boyfriend or girlfriend or partner to read comics? No, I haven't. Do your close friends around you read comics? My best friend sorta was, but he kind of got off of him. He's more of a gamer than he is a into comics. He likes the movies, so you're stuck on an island. You can only see superhero movies or non-superhero movies for the rest of your life. What do you choose? I love superhero movies, but to watch them for the rest of my life and only that, I can't. There's not enough of them. There's so many different movies in the world. I could watch movies from any, since the beginning of movies started, whenever that was, so. But superhero movies, the first ones were the Superman movies, and it's so that's not that many, and then not all of them are really good. I would have to go with non-superhero movies only because there's a better array of movies that I could choose from. Even the bad ones, I could sit through or something or whatever, I guess, to get through to the good ones. But I would get tired of seeing the same old movie over and over. Like, even for Avengers, if I see that 50 times in a row, that I would literally get sick of it. So I would have to go with non-superhero movies. Okay, so he says, tell him a comic book horror story. I mean, a comic book horror story. Oh man. The only comic book horror story I have, it's not really a horror story. It's really just me just not paying attention. But I bought the Dark Knight Returns. Not the Dark Knight Returns. The Dark Knight book where it's Batman versus Superman, and it was in a $5 box, and I thought I was getting a deal off the guys. And I've shown it in one of my videos, but I basically had on my drunk goggles or whatever. I was too amazed by the book. So, like I said, I thought I was getting a deal, but when I got home, I noticed it had this giant gash on it and on the front cover, and it goes all through so many pages of the book. It's it's god awful. So that's the best I've got. I usually don't I don't know. I'm kind of, I guess, careful with my books, so nothing's terrible, thank goodness, has happened. Like I dropped it and bent a corner or something. So that's the best one I've got. So number 5 is why do you think comics still have a social stigma even when there are millions of people watching the movies and TV shows? Well, that's a really interesting question because here's how I'm gonna answer it. The same reason I think comics our social stigma is for the same reason I think the newspaper is still around and people still buy the newspaper. Because when the internet, you know, came about and stuff, I'm surprised the newspaper didn't die off. And, you know, when you think about it, it's like, because the newspaper is to give you the news, right? But now, who, unless you're just, you know, unless you just like to read the newspaper for enjoyment purposes, you don't really need it with the internet giving you information literally every tenth of a second. You know, there's anything you need to know, just go search it up, and it'll definitely most likely be on the internet before it's in the newspaper. So the same thing can be said for comics. You know, it's like the original source material. You know, people are definitely more interested in reading that than, you know, just going based off movies stuff. And to be honest, you know, the movies, yeah, they're entertaining, but if you're really wanting to learn more about these things, about these characters and these peoples and their stories, you know, the movies are definitely not the only material you should look at, because they just leave too much out there. But that's not their fault. I mean, it's only 2 hours max, and movies sometimes an hour and a half, or sometimes in between that. But so, you know, you know, I don't, I mean, I think it's still a high topic. So, comics, because the movies aren't the best way to go to get the information. I mean, you know, and the same thing can be said for the internet versus the newspaper. What's printed in the newspaper is probably a little more accurate than what's on some website. You know, anybody can print something and say, oh, it's news. So, on a website. So, you know, the newspaper has a little more credit, I guess, than the internet does with, you know, because you don't know what's credible and what's not. Same thing can be said for the movies. The movies, a lot of things are made up with and changed. As for the comics, that was the first material. So you have to read that if you really want to know more about these characters. Okay, so number 6 is, who is your favorite movie director? To be honest, I see so many different movies. You know, it's I mean, that's like asking me what's my favorite chip or something, to be honest, because I really don't watch movies for the director, to be honest. It's moreover for me to, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I to be honest, I don't know, but I do have a favorite director. He's this guy who wrote my favorite show of all time. His name's Vince Gilligan. He wrote Breaking Bad and directed that. Yeah, and that's my favorite show of all time. And if you guys haven't seen it, man, that show is perfect. There's literally no holes to be filled in or anything like that. So, but like I said, I see so many movies. It's hard to choose just, oh yeah, that director, you know. I guess superhero wise, Joss Whedon would be my favorite director, but you know, I felt bad choosing him since I didn't choose only superhero movies to watch. And his movies wouldn't be the only movies I would watch. I would watch, you know, any superhero movie. That's all I could watch on a desert island. So, your last question is your top 5. And then you have in parentheses favorite rappers of all time. You know, yeah, okay, well, I don't actually myself listen to rap music anymore, As you can see what music I play on my videos, I don't listen to rap music anymore. Kind of stopped once I got to high school. Rap music kind of bored me. When I was a kid, I really loved it though. It rap used to, like, they used to say things in rap music that were just a little more heartfelt, and now it's all just more of the same crap I hate to hear. So I don't listen to rap music anymore. But so I'm gonna name 5 rappers, but don't take too much into it. I mean, I did listen to these guys when I was younger. So I'm gonna name Eminem, Jay-Z, Kanye West, Lil Wayne, and Juvenile. Yeah, I'll name those guys. I'm sure you got. I'm not sure who's going to know who on that list, but that's my 5 rappers list. And yeah, that's going to be my contest entry for Michael Ganter. Again, sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. 100 subs contest. If you guys aren't subbed to him, please go give him a sub right now and do a contest entry for him. Just get him to that 200 and 500 subs, please. So that's gonna do it for this entry. So okay, bye.